This show is sponsored by Bitonic. Invest in Bitcoin with ease.
Connect the build.
Edgar Borja, K1 Technology, El Salvador.
You enjoy soccer, but mostly watch the World Cup. Would you say the World Cup is the only soccer event you never miss?
Yes. Italian food is loved worldwide. Do you think pasta is better than pizza?
No.
El Salvador is known for its high-quality coffee. Do you prefer Salvadoran coffee over any other?
Yes.
Gladiator is a legendary movie. Do you think it's the greatest historical drama ever made?
Yes.
Pentatonix has revolutionized a cappella music. Have you ever tried singing along to one of their complex harmonies?
No.
Jules Verne wrote about incredible adventures. Have you ever dreamed of going on a journey like in Around the World in 80 days?
Yes.
You love the Salvadorian highlands. Have you ever considered moving there permanently?
Yes.
Coffee is your favorite drink, but could you go a whole week without drinking it?
Yes.
Have you ever climbed the Santa Ana volcano?
Yes.
Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?
No.
Welcome to the Connected World Weekly Podcast. I'm Edward.
And I'm Steph. We are ready to take you with us into the beautiful world of the Lightning Network.
Enjoy the ride. This is episode 133 of Connected World, and this show is made possible by our friends from Bitonic and BRINGIN. Thank you guys for helping us out with our mission to connect the world with Bitcoin through the Lightning Network. And if you also want to help out with our mission, then of course you can follow us on X, on Nostrdam, or subscribe at our YouTube channel. If you have any questions at all, of course, you can go to one of our Telegram groups. And of course, a donation is always welcome. Conecta el mundo.
Edgar Borja, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah,
Muchas
welcome,
gracias.
man.
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias. De nada, de nada.
I just want to add, before we head over to Edgar, if you still want those tickets for Bitcoin Film Fest, then head over to bitcoinfilmfest.com with the discount code CTW10. And you can get your discount there. And of course, we can't say enough things to just say that you really need to go there.
That's correct. That's correct.
All right.
Hey, and I was wondering, Edgar, because you're a Italian food lover, and yeah, who isn't? I would say. I mean, I'm also a big Italian food lover. I know very few people who who don't like a pizza or a good pasta, but your favorite coffee is Salvadoran, and I can imagine because you're a Salvadoran. But
Yes, I'm a little
I think
biased,
most
but
Italians,
I think it's the best.
most Italians won't agree with you, man.
Yeah, well, you would have to come here and try freshly roasted Salvadorian coffee, and it'll blow your mind.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
That's
also
something we need to try then, Steph.
Yeah. I'm also a big coffee lover, and I don't remember if I ever tasted a real Salvadoran coffee. So maybe I just need to keep my mouth shut and don't judge before I had one.
Yeah, give it a try. Give it a try.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why not? Hey, Edgar, your answer to the singing part was interesting because you said no, but in such a way that I think you don't sing, right?
No, not at all.
No, but you enjoy music.
I do.
So that's...
I enjoy... see, a cappella music is a recent discovery of mine. I just like the fact that they're basically singing in hard mode.
It is. Yeah. So combining everything, and then it's just so complex and beautiful to experience.
Yes, definitely. So
absolutely true.
It's an appreciation of the music, but also not only the musical talent, but just the composition and everything.
Yeah. I can imagine.
I listened a lot to the King Singers. That's also so beautiful to hear. Yeah,
but you sing along with those songs, right, Edward?
Me, yeah, of course. Well, I used to play guitar and sing also, so yeah, I like it.
Well,
I'm not a musician, but
maybe when we have a spare 5 minutes, you can demonstrate it.
Then I just grab it and yeah.
Hey, and Edgar, I was wondering because you said you love the Salvadoran highlands, and you have considered moving there. And what stops you to do so? What keeps you to do so?
Just convenience and logistics, I guess. El Salvador has some.
Okay.
Well, we're a tropical country right now. I think it's easily 30 degrees outside, or over 90 if you're in the US. So it's always hot. But we have many volcanoes. So there's like right near the city, 30 minutes away, and then you're on top of a volcano, probably. 1,800 meters above sea level, so it just changes everything. And if you go further inland, the weather becomes really nice, but then you're far from everything. So
yeah. And is the humidity also lower there? Because higher temperatures, I also like to go to the beach or something, but the humidity at the beaches are mostly lower than in the more rainforest kind of landscape. And the humidity is what makes it unbearable, maybe, because it's then everything feels 2 times as hot as it is. So is that maybe also the highlands that the humidity gets a little lower or something? Or
yeah, definitely. I mean, when you're up there, it's what do you guys use, like Celsius, or like if you're up there,
Celsius,
easily in an afternoon, 16, 17 degrees.
And that's nice.
You hear the birds, because most of the highlands here are just coffee plantation areas.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of birds. You're in the middle of the greenery, so it just becomes really nice. The city, right now, Santa Tecla is at 900 meters above sea level, so it's not too bad. But still, we're sweating.
There's still room for improvement. Yes. Cool. Hey, Edgar, before we start the 21 minutes, we are going to talk with you about your project K1 Technologies, about your business. But I was wondering, K1, where did the name come from? Is it like, because I know K1 from kickboxing, but are you guys kickboxing the Fiat system, or what is the story behind K1? Can you tell us?
Yeah, actually, we began with the K1 name a few years ago. We were creating at that time it was an ATM, like a regular ATM for the financial system.
But just Fiat ATM.
Yes, at that time it was so.
Okay.
And it just became the first, when we needed to name it, it was the first payment kiosk made in El Salvador. So it was the product was called the K1, the first kiosk. So it was just like the prototype name, and then it just became part of, like, people began to recognize the name, and then it just became the brand. So K1 is not the product; it's the company now.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, it has a nice trademark, a nice image. I mean,
it's the origin story. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and it's part of our goal, because our goal is to develop the technology industry in El Salvador. The electronics industry. We want El Salvador to be an exporter of technology. So we're the first payment kiosk, and hopefully many more technology companies will also start behind our steps.
Cool. Well, no better way to ask you if you are ready for the 21 minutes, because we want to learn all about it. So if you are ready, we would really love to enter the 21 minutes.
The 21 minutes is brought to you by BRINGIN,
Connected
the app to reliably
mondo.
sell and spend Bitcoin from any wallet. The first question is a simple one, but I thought, maybe there is a whole story behind it. What challenges did you face at first when introducing your first Bitcoin ATM? Because I can imagine it isn't that easy to do.
Yeah, definitely. At the beginning, the challenges were in different areas. El Salvador does not have an existing, what do you call it, an ecosystem for hardware development. It's not like if you're in China, you're in Shenzhen, you can go around the street, find the manufacturers for this, find the... Now here we needed to either import or create. So just creating the supply chain was a challenge in itself. So just trying to find the right components, getting we have bill acceptors. Sorry about the noise. We have bill acceptors to identify, different types of bills, and getting the manufacturers to actually send us the devices. They were like, why do you want to get these devices in El Salvador? So just being able to find the suppliers and start building that supply chain was one of the main challenges.
Yeah. Hey, and K1 was designed from the ground up for Bitcoin and Lightning. What specific design choices made it unique to compare to traditional ATMs, which we already learned is also something, where you maybe started with, but you shifted to Bitcoin and Lightning. And what specific design choices made it unique compared to the traditional ATMs?
Well, when the Bitcoin law was announced in El Salvador, we, like my co-founder and I, we wanted to try, what it was like buying Bitcoin. So we went to a traditional Bitcoin ATM, which was the only thing that was available. That meant you had to put in a $10 or a $20 bill. Mm-hmm. Then we actually...
It was the Chivo ATM, right?
No. It was way before Chivo. It was when the law was announced.
Okay.
Yeah. So after putting in the bill, we sat down next to the machine because we wouldn't trust the machine. It's $20, right? So we sat down for 30 minutes waiting for the funds to show up in our wallet. And by the time it got there with the ATM fees and the network fees, I put in 10, I got 5 in my wallet. And then he put in a 20, so he got a little bit more. But at that point, we realized that if people in El Salvador were going to adopt Bitcoin and were going to start using it, they needed a quick way with low fees, something that gave them immediate feedback, and to be able to do it in smaller amounts as well. Because not every day, for a Salvadoran person, you cannot ask them to save $20 per day, but you can easily save $1 or $2 per day. So just making it functional within those parameters guided us to the Lightning Network. It's not that the Lightning Network was the requirement. The Lightning Network was the solution for these requirements. Yeah. Small amounts, immediate payment, and low fees.
And slow amounts, like as low as 5 cents. I've listened somewhere. So that's really small amounts.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is no other ATM in the, maybe there is, but there's no one that I'm aware of. And we can even do a quick demo. I have a 5 cent coin here.
I love this. All right.
So we'll do it just a live demo. So I'll just go tap on start.
Ramon can zoom in. Yeah.
And then I'll put in a coin. So that's 5 cents.
Yeah.
And now I'm just going to create a Lightning invoice on my phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see. Of course, right now it's not very willing to cooperate. Okay, there we go. That's the Lightning invoice.
There it is. Yeah.
So I'll just show it to the machine. That's it.
Wow.
So you hear the
noise. I just received 5 cents.
This is so fun. It was so just so quick. I mean, amazing.
Yeah, I'm really amazed at 5 cents. I mean,
Steph.
I mean, even no offense, but even in El Salvador, I think there won't be many people who are exchanging 5 cents to Bitcoin. But the possibility that it can, this is the power of the Lightning Network here.
The educational part. I mean, you can have a child or someone just put in 5 cents, and it's just so interesting to watch and the perception how it works.
For many people, amazing. Bitcoin, when they hear Bitcoin and they're afraid because they don't understand it.
Yeah.
Or they have
skepticism.
There's a skepticism. There's some people are afraid of scams. They've been scammed in the past in some way or another and they don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
But if you go and you tell them, here's a nickel, here's 5 cents, I'll pay you for it. Go and use it.
Yeah. For
Then
example.
you break that wall, and now people are buying Bitcoin before they know it. And
yeah, I mean,
Hey,
with,
and how does
with 50 cents, you can already orange pill 10 people. And with, the sky's the
that's
limit.
right.
exactly.
Yeah. How does the K1 handle user authentication with SMS-based one-time passwords, for example? Or are there plans to integrate some other authentication methods like NFC or a Bolt card or I don't know, biometric verification?
Yeah, for now, SMS is an option. So basically, it would depend on the operator. We do not operate the machines. We manufacture the machines and the software. And then the operators decide, what limits they want to set on the machine, what fee do they want to charge, what type of KYC they want to enable. So for now, we already have SMS verification enabled. And we're about to add ID card scanning as well. So some applications require you to, like, if it's a certain amount, you need to scan an ID card. So we're enabling those features as well. And we continue to adapt to the needs of the market.
Yeah, of
And
course.
what are the requirements by law in El Salvador for the people in El Salvador? I mean, here in Europe, they have a new law, and there's a travel rule which states that you have to put in all information about the buyer of Bitcoin in every transaction and all. It's like a big hassle. But what does the law in El Salvador say? Are there certain thresholds which can be KYC free, or how does it work at your side?
Yeah, well, the law in El Salvador is changing right now. During the moment that Bitcoin was legal tender, that just made it much easier because it was basically just changing one legal tender for another. And if it's a very small amount, especially if it's coins, it's nobody's going to be doing money laundering using quarters. You better set up a laundromat for that. But even most jurisdictions have a lower limit, and in El Salvador, I think it's around $200 before you need to start getting really serious into KYC. So if you're doing lower amounts, which is one of the advantages of a Lightning ATM, then you have less hassles to worry about.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And what challenges did you face when implementing Lightning payments in the K1, and how did you solve them?
So initially, the Lightning Network obviously has many advantages, but it also has challenges. We had to set up a Lightning node and then start opening channels and monitoring the channels, making sure nobody foreclosed it. So initially, it was just designing that Lightning infrastructure. In the end, the solution was to decide, do we want to be technology manufacturers or do we want to be Lightning infrastructure providers? And so we just left the Lightning infrastructure to the experts. And the way our machines work is that our operators can decide if they want to use, for example, Strike, and their Strike wallet will be the source of funds for the transactions. Or you can use Blink, another great wallet. So you can use your Blink wallet as a source of funds. And then you can also use OpenNode. So we have different options. And based on what the operator decides, that wallet with their infrastructure, with their Lightning channels, will be the source of funds. And then we just worry about providing a great user experience and a safe device for them.
Cool. So it can also be completely self-hosted. If I want to attach my own node, for instance, this is also a possibility.
So something we're implementing right now is just connecting into your own Phoenix instance, because Phoenix Wallet launched their own. It's called Phoenix Server, basically. So you can install your own Phoenix wallet, but we will be implementing LND and other self-hosted Lightning solutions in the future as well.
Cool.
Great. Yeah, that means, Steph, that you can place it at a meeth or something and just connect it to your own community.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If I see how fast and easy it is, I want to own one myself, and just teach my kids about it, and the kids in the neighborhood.
Put it in the living room. It is.
Yeah, man. That would be great.
Yeah. Hey, and Edgar, is it a perpetual license that I just buy the hardware, or is it also attached to some fee structure or a subscription? Or
so the way we're selling it right now, we manufacture the device and sell it to you, and it's you have two options. You can either run it by yourself and take care of everything. We call that the YOLO route.
Yeah.
Or we also have an optional 1% fee. And for 1% of your transactions, you get software updates, priority support. You get access to our advanced dashboard so that you can see everything about your machine.
Yeah.
And you can also be part of our advertising network. So we get advertisers to show their ads on the machines. Yeah. And then you get part of the revenue for that.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's one of the questions.
And when you go for the YOLO version, is this then open sourced so that you can keep track or maybe build dashboards yourself, or how do you?
We are in the process of open sourcing all of our software that's used to run the machine. Right now, it's not open source yet, but we're just we're working on a new version that's already being tested in maybe 10% of the machines that are deployed around the world. And once that's stable, we're going to open source it.
Cool.
Okay. So, Steph, if you, Edgar, ship to the Netherlands, then we can get a discount for 2. Then
there you go.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, the concept of financial accessibility is central, of course, to K1. Can you share maybe a personal story that you just have on top of your mind of how the ATM has impacted unbanked or underbanked communities in El Salvador? Because it could be a big change, of course.
Yeah, definitely. One of my favorite stories is about a young man who decided to buy one of our machines. He set it up. He has a little. In Latin America, we have little corner stores. Instead of going to the grocery store, there's little stores around every corner. So he has a little corner store in his town, and people would go there, buy a little bit of Bitcoin, and then use Bitrefill from their phones to pay their electric bill, for example, using Bitcoin. The option for them, because it was a relatively remote community, if they didn't have access to digital payments using Bitcoin, they would need to take the bus, go down the hills to downtown, and then take another bus to go to the bank or to the electrical company's branch and do a physical payment, because it's people who don't have access to bank accounts or to credit cards.
Yeah, indeed.
So if you have cash, you have two options. You can go to the K1 machine and then pay online, or you have to pay the bus, pay the other bus, and then go stand in line and then come back.
So and it takes a lot of time, and it's dangerous.
It makes the decision so easy.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And we hear we had a lot of Salvadorans in the show previously, and these are the kind of stories that we hear a lot. How it really benefits remote communities, and I think that's great. And now we're putting such a machine on every cornerstone, which basically is an option if you have someone who is willing to run a K1 machine. I mean, it can be so beneficial for the community there. So that's great. And you said that the Bitcoin ATMs should work like vending machines, offering instant transactions. Well, you demonstrated it just now, and it blows my mind. It's so simple.
Fast.
I mean, yeah, man, it's so simple, but it really still blows my mind. What feedback have you received from first-time Bitcoiners, first-time Bitcoin users? So people that haven't used Bitcoin before, but using it for the first time at a K1 machine.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite things about going to a conference or to an event. We get to be everybody's and the people around us in the El Salvador Bitcoin ecosystem, they know us. So when somebody is new, they tell them, hey, go to K1. So people are walking around and they come to us, and they told me to come here. So just we either give them a coin, or we tell them, do you have any coins or cash on you? You can put a $5 bill or a $1 bill or a quarter in the machine, and then you see their face light up. Oh, is it that easy? And yes, Bitcoin should be easy. So you see them smile and they go and get, I'm going to go get my mom to use. I'm going to go get my brother. And that's the best part about it.
That was my instant reaction too. I need to get my kids, my kids need to try this. That's funny, yeah.
You're going to do it, Steph.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
What can you tell us about the K1 expanding beyond El Salvador? Because I think it's already is, of course. Is it available elsewhere? And what markets are showing the most interest in the K1?
So right now we are already in over 20 countries. We have operators, customers who have bought our machines in Europe, in Africa, in Australia, and basically in every continent. We still want to place a machine in Antarctica. Amazing. So if you know anybody in the McMurdo station or somebody, no, but that's fun. We have clients all over the world. The States, definitely the US is one of our biggest markets. But yes, we want to be everywhere.
So in order to make the K1 work here in Europe, you also need to, you talked about the bill recognizing parts and the coin recognizing parts that you use. They are obviously different for the Europe market than for the Salvadoran market, I can imagine. So it can be quite a hassle to add new countries with different currencies and all. Or am I not correct?
No, you're correct, Steph. And that is why supply chain is one of our biggest challenges. Right now, we have been able to work directly with a factory in China that creates a programmable or trainable coin acceptor. So we can, if we have samples, for example, I have €2 and €1 coins, we use those to train the machines before they go to Europe. So when they start using them, the machine will know, okay, this is a €1 coin, this is a €2 coin, and it works like that.
Yeah.
And
so they're more universal than, and it's just programming. Yeah, and you can do it yourself.
Exactly. So you can train the coin acceptors. The bill acceptors are a little more complicated because they have, more parts. There's more security features. So we are expanding the number of countries where we currently can operate. I think, we can, our machines are able to accept Euro bills, but now we have had a lot of interest from Canada, Costa Rica, Honduras. And in the past, we have been unable to send units there because for example, Canadian bills are wider than US bills, so they don't fit in the machine. So now just fixing those kinds of issues, which you wouldn't think about. So it's that wouldn't be the first thing that comes to your mind, but it's too wide. That's the issue. So those are the things we're trying to work on.
Yeah. I can imagine. And what's on your roadmap in terms of new features? Can you maybe share something? Edward already asked you about NFC enabling or bolt cards, but what do you have? What do you guys have on the roadmap for the coming months to years?
Yeah, I mean, in the immediate roadmap, it's definitely just being compatible with more types of currency, because that has been a physical limitation and one of the reasons why we haven't been able to enter certain markets. And that's something we're actively working on. Like, that's what I was doing this morning. So that's one of the immediate things. And then longer term, it would be continue to expand, maybe create a smaller machine that can be everywhere, not just in the corner store, but in any kind of business. So that would be definitely just making it easier.
I also think about merging them perhaps with the Fiat ATM machines, or will it stay just as a separate ATM?
Well, banks are not really fond of Bitcoin right now, so we'll see how it goes.
Depends on the country.
Yes.
Hey, I hear the ticking noise, and Steph, Edgar told us a little bit about the advertising, and I just wanted to ask a question, because your model allows also store owners to generate revenue. How much of an impact does it have on overall profitability?
So that will depend. Some business owners, they bring their own advertisers. So they they get, they get Bitcoin related businesses to advertise on the machine. They get real estate or what do we call people from the travel industry or companies from the travel industry to advertise on their machines because they know that Bitcoin is used by travelers a lot or by visitors. And even politicians, I have seen some advertisements of politicians.
Really?
I'm a pro Bitcoin candidate, and la 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 la. Of course, they want to advertise on the machine. So it will depend because they can bring their own advertisers, or they can connect to the network we're building.
Great. So connect the world advertisement then
to
have more people listen to us. Yeah. Well, thanks again, Edgar. Let's head over to the next part.
Connetti il mondo.
Yeah, because we still have one question left for you, Edgar. But the fun thing is you may choose yourself because we pre-recorded a question from Pierre Corbin, he's from Flash, or Jack Everett from Thunder Games, making Bitcoin games, Bitcoin-enabled games. So, which one will it be?
Okay, let's hear it for Jack from Bitcoin,
let's go, Jackie.
Yeah.
Okay, here it comes.
Hi, I'm Jack from Thunder Games, and this is my question to you. Which one of Bitcoin's current heroes will become a villain?
Ooh. That's
and you need to choose. I mean, that's difficult.
Yes. So what? See, there's one thing that I'm currently, I don't know what the solution for this will be. One of my Bitcoin heroes, and he's one of my heroes, is Michael Saylor.
Yeah.
But he's always saying that he'll take Bitcoin with him to the beyond, He'll never spend it. So he has a pretty good stack. Not quite like mine, but no, I'm just kidding. So, but what will actually happen, in 30 years or whatever, once Saylor is not here,
sailing away.
So when he sails away, what's going to happen to that Bitcoin? Do we really want it to? Do we want the supply to be reduced by that amount? So I don't know. That's one of the questions that I've been asking myself.
It is.
But I think he thought he is talking about his personal ownings, right? Because the company ownings, he can't. He can say that he wants to keep it with him, but if he is no longer there, the company is in other hands, so he is not to decide about it. But his personal ownings are also.
But is it healthy? Is it healthy for what we want? For the money of the world, for what we want Bitcoin to be? Is it healthy for it to be less available in the future?
Yeah, you say money, but I think Michael Saylor already stated that he doesn't see it as money, but he sees it as a store of value. So it's difficult because you're building, you're the one who is making who is helping Bitcoin to become better money.
The medium of exchange part is in the core white paper. I mean, it's just. It's. I think it's a crucial part of Bitcoin.
A peer-to-peer money system. That's what I see it as.
A lot of people take it more seriously if it really is a medium of exchange, and more people are using it. But of course, a lot of countries can relate to that because it really is a better solution. Yeah. So let's hope that will continue. And maybe some tech will shift that way. I mean, El Salvador is having a great supply chain now. So
I want to add to this that I'm glad that Michael Saylor exists, because I think that he is still netto positive to Bitcoin, because he has done a lot of building on educational stuff, and he is spreading the word with policymakers and all. So I think he is netto positive. But I'm also very, very happy that people like Edgar exist, who are just building stuff. But it really is. You know, I mean, you guys are the ones who are building up on Bitcoin to improve the way we interact with Bitcoin. And I think that is very. I think that's more important than just stack and hodl, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Edgar. Cool.
Connetti il mondo.
People, Edgar, where can people follow you personally? Maybe if you have an X account or maybe you're active on Nostr, and where can people keep track on everything you guys at K1 are doing?
Yeah, you can follow me personally on X. My handle is Fire is my flag. And the K1 account, which has much more activity than I do, is just K1 El Salvador.
All right.
Cool.
Great. Well, Edgar, thanks again. And to everybody else, also thanks for listening in. And of course, thanks to everyone helping to connect the world with us. And if you like our content, then please support us in our mission. Visit our website, connecttheworld.live, where you can also make a donation and subscribe, like, and share our content on your favorite platform. So remember, we need you to complete our mission, connect the world. So keep those nodes running, sats flowing, and maybe use an ATM machine like A1. And see you all next week at the same Lightning channel. Adios, Edgar.
Hasta luego.
Take care, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Take care.